Hello, everyone. I am so excited to introduce you today to Representative Brian King. He is the Utah House Representative for District 28. He's also the House Minority Caucus leader and an exceptional human being. Brian, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Devin. I hope I am an exceptional human being. That's on a continuum. Those other things you talked about are absolutes, but I'm working on being a good human being.
Yeah, you're a great human being. You're a great human being, and we're thrilled to have you. What do you want to talk about today?
Well, something that's on my mind all the time is the fact that as the leader of the House Democrats, I'm trying to get things done up there, and I'm dealing with the supermajority on the Republican side of the aisle, and that's a challenge. So I wanted to talk about how we approach that in Utah today.
It is a challenge because the number of voters voting for Republicans versus Democrats in statewide elections is not proportional to the representation in the House or Senate, is it?
Right. Well, and not only that, you're absolutely right, and that's very frustrating. But the other reality, and I think it's becoming more and more true these days, as voters, regular people, just get disenchanted with the political machine and the left versus right, Democrats versus Republican, and they just are saying that isn't of interest to me. It isn't relevant to what I'm doing every day. And I get their point. And in my district, up in District 28, we have, I don't know, maybe 20 or 25,000 registered voters. And the biggest group of voters, registered voters, are unaffiliated voters. I mean, they outnumber by a significant amount the Republicans. So I think that the reality is, as you know, and people who have looked at politics carefully and been involved in politics know, our system in the United States is not a parliamentary system. It's not set up in Congress or in our election for president of the United States to divvy up power in a proportional way. It is a winner-take-all system, and it naturally tends to gravitate toward two poles. And today it's Republican and Democrat. It hasn't always been that way. We've had Whigs in the past. We've had Federalist Party in the past. We've had other types of parties. But for the last 150 plus years, we've had Republicans versus Democrats. There can still be, and still is, of course, a lot of diversity within each of those parties. You've got a wide range of political views, but for better or worse, this is what we're stuck with. And so I think that it's easy for individuals sometimes to sort of say, I'm one or the other. I'm one and I hate the other. and I just think that's a turnoff to a lot of people. So I think one of the challenges that we've got as Democrats is to the extent that we have to affiliate with one party or the other, and we choose to be Democrats, how do we get the message out to Utahns that Democrats share Utah values? That's a real challenge. And I think it's critically important that we do that and that we have more Utahns voting for Democrats in a way that creates a better balance at the legislature.
Really, it is an important message. What do you say, Brian, especially to young people who are so turned off by partisan politics? What's your invitation to them to engage at all, to be a part of the process?
Yeah. You asked me that question, and the quote that comes to mind is a quote, and I'm not going to quote it verbatim because I don't know it verbatim, but I think it was from Bertolt Brecht, who was a German playwright, a German writer from the last century, who said, you may not take an interest in politics, but politics will take an interest in you. And that's just the reality. So what I say to young people is, number one, it's really difficult to overstate the degree to which the decisions that we make in Congress, at the state legislature, in city councils, in county councils, have an impact on your day-to-day life, the quality of your life. And there's really no way around that. You can drop out if you want to, but you're not going to escape the effect of decisions that are made by people in elected office and in appointed office also, but who are appointed by those who are elected, that have a dramatic impact on your life. So, come join us. People say to me, don't you get discouraged up there at the legislature? You're the leader of the super minority caucus, and It must be like banging your head against the wall. Yeah, at times it is. At times I do get discouraged, but I'll tell you, there's no good alternative. That's the problem that we've got. There's no good alternative to being engaged. Now, I recognize that for some people, they say, no, you don't understand. This is too stressful for me. This is too traumatic for me to engage. I get that. There are ways that we can, engage in less stressful ways. And I encourage everyone to do what their comfort level dictates. But I would say to young people, please don't completely drop out or think that this is not a process worth engaging in some way, in a way that you feel comfortable with. But it's absolutely critical that your voice is heard.
Boy, that's a great message, Brian. Brian, you have served in this really difficult role of the House Minority Leader. What is your superpower?
Oh, I don't have a superpower. I think working across the party lines to the greatest extent possible, making sure that you aren't. I think one superpower may be, if I have anything at all, it's keeping in mind this is not about me. This is about our caucus. As the leader of the caucus, I'm constantly thinking about how are the members of the caucus doing and how can I help them. As a legislator of a 104-member group of people in the House and the Senate of the Utah State Legislature, it's about the people of the state of Utah. And there are many, many things, Devin, that I have worked across the aisle on closely with people that when I say their names, the base members of my party say, wait, you get along with that person? You've worked with that person? You've found common ground with that person? I don't even like you, dude. But the reality is that what holds us together, I mean, this is another line that you hear a lot, that what binds us is more significant and more numerous. The things that bind us are more numerous than the things that separate us. That's true. Yeah. We all have an interest in clean air. We all have an interest in having our kids get the best education possible. We all have an interest in making sure that the business environment allows for people to make a decent living and provide for their families here. So there we can disagree about the best way to accomplish those things. But when you focus on what binds us together and you really work hard to find elements in other people's personalities and characters that you like and that they know you like, you can get a lot done. You can get a lot done. And we have. It's amazing what Democrats get done at the Utah State Legislature.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, Brian, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. We can't thank you enough. Before you go, take a minute and tell people how they can learn more about you, your campaign, and how they can connect with you.
Yes, thank you. I've enjoyed it very much, Devin. Of the social media handles, if you do a search on Facebook for me, Brian S. King, I'll turn up pretty quickly. I think people don't have a problem finding me on Facebook. I've got a personal page on Facebook. I've got a legislative page on Facebook, and you can see both of those. On Twitter, which is my preferred social media method, I'm on Twitter more than I'm on anything else. My handle is REP Brian King, so Rep Brian King. And on Instagram, my handle is Brian S. King. So I'm on all those things, and I enjoy them. I find that is a great way to interact with people, and especially on Twitter, you'll see me very active and saying inflammatory things, undoubtedly.
Fantastic. All righty, Brian, thank you so much for being with us today, and we wish you every success in your efforts to manage that super minority and perhaps grow it this election season.
Thank you. It's good to be with you, Devin.
All righty. Let's be bold together.
I'm Devin Thorpe. For the last 8 years, I've been working full-time to eradicate extreme poverty, improve global health, and fight climate change. I've concluded that the best way for me to continue my work is to run for Congress to represent the people of Utah's 3rd District. In Utah, we have common shared values. Those things unite us. I believe passionately in our ability to come together, and I believe that working together, we can solve Utah's problems. I'm Devin Thorpe. I'm a Democrat. I'm running to represent the people of Utah's 3rd District.
I'm Devin Thorpe, a candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.